Today, we are going to learn how to make a traditional Ang Gu Kueh. So there are a few mise en place that we have to complete first. The first mise en place that we will be looking at is preparation of the banana leaves for underlining the Ang Gu Kueh. First, you have to cut your banana leaves into 6 cm by 7 cm rectangle. Blanch them in a pot of boiling water. The purpose of blanching them is 1. To prevent it from wilting and drying up, and 2. To sanitize the banana leaves. 5 seconds on each side. Thereafter, you can bring it out of the boiling water and pat them dry, refrigerate for later use. After the banana leaves, we are going to move on to our tau sa filling or our mung bean filling. Please get the shelled and split mung beans from the supermarket. With 300 grams of mung beans, soak it with 900 grams of water for at least 6 hours, placing it in the refrigerator. Once the 6 hours is up, please drain your mung beans very thoroughly and prepare 2 leaves of pandan. Pandan leaves gives a nice aroma to the mung bean filling. Thereafter, place your mung beans layered with pandan leaves in a cloth to be steamed in a steamer. Pandan leaf gives a nice aroma to the mung bean filling, as well as it is a traditional aroma for our Chinese tau sa filling as well. The cheesecloth or the green chucks, which is used for food preparation in my household, prevents extra moisture from getting into the mung bean filling, which will make it overly watery at the end. Cover up your mung bean filling and steam it for 1 hour. Your result will be a nice meshy soft mung beans which you can squeeze with your fingers. In a high-speed blender, please add your mung beans with 200 grams of custard sugar and 150 grams of lukewarm water. Blend it until smooth and your tau sa filling is ready for your Ang Gu Kueh. Apart from the tau sa filling, there is another popular Ang Gu Kueh filling, which is the peanut filling, which we are going to make today as well. In a bowl, put 200 grams of roasted coarsely chopped peanuts with 100 grams of sugar, 25 grams of roasted white sesame, and 30 grams of glutinized rice flour, and give it a good mix. Mix all your dry ingredients thoroughly, which will enable us to better mix everything together when the wet ingredient goes in. Make a well in the middle of your dry ingredients and add 10 grams of cooking oil and 50 grams of water. Give it a good mix. As you will find that it might be slightly dry at the beginning, please do not be tempted to add more water, as you need to give the glutinous rice flour some time to absorb the liquid added. Mix around for about 5 minutes to make sure that all the dry parts have been mixed in. Allow the mixture to rest in the refrigerator for about 1 hour to ensure the full absorption of the water from the glutinous rice flour, which in this case here is used as a thickening and sticking agent. Once both fillings are done, please divide them into 20 grams oval-shaped balls. Now we are going to make our Ang Gu Kueh starter dough, which is a water roux dough adopted from the Japanese bread making technique. In a metal bowl, add 50 grams of rice flour. In a separate container, add 225 grams of water and 23 grams of oil. Mix it thoroughly. With a whisk, add the water into the rice flour gradually, whisking to mix in and ensure that there is no lumps before the next addition. Because if you add the water in all at once, you will get a very lumpy mixture, which then you will have to spend even more time mixing everything together. Hence, patience is the key to a smooth and lumpless rice flour mixture. Once you have obtained a smooth mixture, over low heat in a pot, you need to cook it until it thickens over 65 degrees, but no more than 66 degrees. This is the optimum temperature as hot liquid is absorbed by the rice flour without overcooking the rice flour. So this is your end results of a nice thickened mixture at 65 degrees Celsius. Pour your mixture into a container covered with cling wrap to be cool in the refrigerator to 4 degrees Celsius before we are able to use it. Finally, we are at the Ang Gu Kueh dough, which is the skin. In a jug, please add 200 grams of coconut milk, 75 grams of cooking oil, give it a stir, and your red coloring. I usually add my coloring into the liquid as the wet ingredient spreads evenly throughout the whole dough. If you only add the coloring to the dough when you're almost done, the coloring might be uneven, leaving streaks of darker colors and lighter colors all over the dough. So this is my little trick for even coloring. Give the coloring a good stir and set it aside. In a bowl, add 300 grams of glutinous rice flour and 60 grams of custard sugar. Use a whisk to give it an even mix and break up the lumps. Switch to a spatula, make a well in the middle of the bowl. Add half of your coconut oil mix and half of your water-roux starter dough. Give it a good mix. This is going to be a very soft dough, hence just gently mix it up until you feel a bit of resistance, and then you proceed to add the rest of your coconut oil mixture, scraping the bottom because some coloring might sink to the bottom and not mix in properly, plus the rest of your water-roux dough. Use the spatula to mix the dry ingredients and wet ingredients until you form a rough dough. If you put your hands in now, majority of the wet ingredients will be stuck to your fingers and the dry ingredients still in the bowl. So use a spatula to mix everything up until it represents a rough dough, and you need to use the spatula to keep mixing for maybe about 5 minutes until you get a dough that is smooth on the surface and not sticky to your fingers as demonstrated. Now you can transfer the dough onto a clean table stock and start kneading for about 10 minutes. You might feel that the dough is very soft and the oil is not combined inside. Do not worry, keep kneading and it will all come together. Now you have to rest the dough covered with cling wrap for a good 20 minutes. Once the dough has been rested for 20 minutes, divide into 20-gram balls as shown in the picture. Now you are ready to wrap your Ang Gu Kueh. Dust your hands with a bit of glutinous rice flour and put the dough in the middle of your palm to flatten. If it feels a bit sticky, don't hesitate to add more flour. And close the filling in the Ang Gu Kueh skin by coaxing the skin around the filling and rounding it to smoothen the surface. Dust it with some glutinous rice flour to prevent it from sticking in the mold. Press the dough into the mold using the palm of your hand, spreading the strength evenly. You will notice that it's a bit rounded in the bottom. This is to maintain the rounded tortoise shell shape after steaming. There you have it, and place it onto a banana leaf that you have prepared earlier. Place the entire Ang Gu Kueh onto a holy steamer tray. If you are taking a bit of time, please cover it with a wet cloth. Now, doing it again, let's dust the mold and remove the excess. Dust your hands and flatten the dough in your palm. Enclose the filling, making sure that it is smooth and fully enclosed inside the dough. Dust it with a bit of glutinous rice flour and press it into the mold. Knock it out, and there you have it. Place it on your banana leaf. Ready for steaming are your nice tausa Ang Gu Kueh. Over a medium heat with small rapid bubbles, steam your Ang Gu Kueh for a good 7 minutes. Of course, the timing depends on the size of your Ang Gu Kueh. Once your Ang Gu Kueh is done, brush it generously with some cooking oil. This is to prevent direct contact with the air, which will harden the Ang Gu Kueh skin if the oil is not brushed on. There you have it, your delicious Tausa filling Ang Gu Kueh. As well as remembering we did a second filling, which is the peanut filling Ang Gu Kueh. So sit back and enjoy your hard work.